Southern Appalachian Christmas dinners are unique. Whether it be carving the turkey that has been roasting for several hours, or preparing that perfect Christmas plate for each member of the family, we prepare our foods a little bit differently here. For example, we use cream corn that has come from our garden that has been put in the freezer. We make our own homemade Giblet Gravy from the turkey drippings. And we also prepare our plates a little bit differently. So with our turkey, we like to baste it in butter, topping it with pepper and a little salt. Once you're finished, you want to make sure that you wash out the sink really well as well to get rid of any contaminants. We baste our turkey throughout the cooking process. Then with our dressing, we like a lot of sage. We use leftover breads to make our dressing as well. And we put celery, which is something that was not traditional in the past. Following the instructions that are on a packet of herb seasoned dressing, you basically want to follow these instructions, but we also, as I said, add celery and onions not cooked. That is something that is not traditional to the Southern Appalachian culture, but I like that extra bit of crunch and flavor that not only the onions add, but the celery as well, adding about a cup of each. Then we take day-old cornbread, add that in a large bowl with the herb seasoning dressing mix, combining it all to make sure it is well incorporated. Then what I love the most is adding sage that has been dried from the garden. There's nothing like fresh sage in comparison to the store-bought bottled sage. The flavors are totally different. So I like to go through making sure that I break off all of the woody stems from the leaves first. Then I take it and each leaf gets rubbed between my fingers, making sure that it is broken up very finely. And to that, I also add some of the bottled herb sage, but not too much as it can become perfumey. And traditionally in the past, something you may have seen would be adding various types of cornbread, whether it be biscuit bread or cornbread as I have added here. Then once you have all your bread, go ahead and add in your onions and celery, a cup of cream of chicken soup, and the pan drippings from the turkey. Here you can also add in water or milk, but traditionally in the Southern Appalachian culture, the pan drippings from the turkey are used to give you that extra rich flavor to your dressing. And you can definitely taste the difference. And then also you can add in some milk to give it a little extra binding. Then once the dressing mixture is all combined relatively well and is not dry, I add some to a nonstick pan. But my favorite is to add it to a seasoned cast iron skillet. When you add your dressing to a skillet, it gets that extra crispy, crunchy exterior, something that you're not going to get with a nonstick pan. So in the household, we prefer to make one pan that is thicker and the nonstick square pan, but also a pan in the iron skillet that is thin and crunchy. So once everything is well flattened in the pans, place them into the oven and allow them to cook until they are nice and crispy and have that crispy golden top. Now for our mashed potatoes, we like to keep it rustic, mashing them with a fork, adding a couple tablespoons of butter, salt, pepper, about a quarter cup of sour cream. Gives them that rich, frothy texture with a little bit of tang. And then to top it all off, just a little splash of buttermilk to smooth out the potatoes just a little bit more so they're not too thick and starchy. And there you have the perfect rustic mashed potatoes. Now to the giblet gravy. Basically what you want to do is make a roux, making sure to consistently stir it so that it does not lump. Then as it begins to cook a little more, you can tell that it needs diluted and thinned out a little bit. So what I like to do is add some more of the pan drippings from what has essentially cooked the innards from the turkey, including the neck and the liver. And it will slowly begin to thicken, as you can tell here. So once you have reached that rolling boil and it's thick, go ahead and add in that turkey liver. Now that our meal is ready, we can go ahead and make that perfect plate with a beautiful slice of turkey, farm fresh creamed corn out of the garden, green beans, which make the perfect side, our giblet gravy made the traditional way. You have to have cranberry sauce, rustic creamy mashed potatoes, our dressing. Here you can tell the texture is different with the one made in the nonstick, so it's a little bit more creamier in texture versus this one made in the iron skillet, which you see is thinner, crunchy, perfection on both the sides, top and bottom. Then we have my favorite, broccoli casserole, which I have featured in my recipes album. So if you're interested in that recipe, you can find it there. And there you have the perfect Appalachian Thanksgiving spread, including that gorgeous steaming hot turkey, juicy, moist, and tender, which we have cooked in our roasting pan, which never ceases to fail. And you can serve a roll if you have someone in your family who prefers a roll as well. Now for plating, I like to start out with a scoop of everything. Slice of turkey, scoop of broccoli casserole, then have a slice of dressing. As you can tell, we love dressing here, so I like to do large portions of the dressing. The mashed potatoes. Add a scoop of green beans. Then a couple spoonfuls of the creamed corn. This is candy corn from our garden. Then a roll, if someone prefers a roll. That gorgeous giblet gravy, which you can see is the perfect thickness because it has that slight skimming on top. Now you can also put the gravy in the mashed potatoes or on top of the dressing or even on the side. And season with a little salt and pepper. And there you have the perfect Southern Appalachian Christmas meal, which wasn't that hard to make. So the next time you have a Christmas dinner, think about possibly serving one the Southern Appalachian way. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy.